how to make money online using DeepSeek AI, Facebook Ads Library, and Fiverr by starting a drop servicing online business to resell web design services. Step 1, register a DeepSeek account and enter this prompt. Step 2, go to facebook.com/ads/library and choose the country where you want to do this online business to make money. In my case, usually I go for United States, United Kingdom, but in this case, I'm gonna go for United Arab Emirates because right now a lot of people wanna start a business in Dubai. Choose all ads and type in restaurant, click search. So this is going to show us a lot of restaurants in the United Arab Emirates, in Dubai, etc, etc. Some of the ads might be unrelated and might be advertising to people interested in things to do with restaurants. And for the step 3, go to my description and register a Fiverr account. What is this Facebook Ads Library and how is it going to be useful for us to earn money with this strategy? And what we're essentially trying to do is we're trying to find businesses who don't have a suitable website or they don't have a website at all, okay? And we're going to be offering them to create a website. So let me show you how this works. But before we do that, I want to quickly talk about that. This video is not financial advice. This video is not a recommendation to start a business, even though a lot of people have made money after watching my videos, right? Like literally a lot of people. School.com/drop servicing. As you can see, a lot of results of people making money. Okay, now that we have the disclaimer out of the way, as I said, we're going to be going for restaurants who don't have a good website. Maybe they have a website, but it's not very good, or maybe they don't have a website at all. And we're going to be using the Facebook Ads Library to actually find these restaurants in the United Arab Emirates. But you can do this anywhere else. You can just choose US there. You can do it in UK or any other country where you want to do it. So let's open a few of these restaurants, right? And let's just have a look if they have websites and how their websites looks like. This one actually has a website. Okay, so let's just skip it for now. Maybe we can find one which doesn't even have a website. So let's also look at this one because they seem to have a website as well. So let's actually have a look at it. And also, where is it? It's in Dubai as well. It's really good. So let's actually look at this one. Okay, looks like this domain isn't connected to a website yet. Bingo. That's exactly very, very good. Super, it's big win. So they have an email. But the website isn't done yet. It's going to be on VIX. So super, very high quality lead. Somebody please contact this business. There's email and phone number. Contact this business literally as soon as this video goes live because there's very, very high chance for you to make money and help these guys out. So what I'm seeing here is, like I said, amazing lead because they actually don't have a website. So let's type in no website in progress. So they don't have a website done. But what is very, very interesting is that they already registered a domain name. Okay, so they're 1 foot into this process. Maybe they are working on it themselves or whatever. Very good lead. Let's have a look at this one. So first of all, where is it? It's in Dubai. Okay, that's perfect. Right, so let's confirm if you're a human. Okay, so let's click on that. That's interesting. Never seen a restaurant that would have a CAPTCHA just to enter the website. It's really strange. Okay, let's see. So they have a website. Okay, they even have an app. That's very interesting. So what do I think about this website? Well, I'm going to be honest. It looks like it was done probably about 10 years ago. I mean, I'm not saying there's anything particularly bad about this website. It just looks a little bit outdated, if you know what I mean. It doesn't look like a premium website that you would see in this year, okay? So I'm thinking it could be a good lead. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to copy this email. We're going to go onto here. We're going to paste it in here as well. Now, we obviously have a website in this case, okay? So it's not just a Facebook page. They do have a website, okay? And then what is it called? It's called like that. So I'm gonna give you the message, and I'm gonna give you absolutely all of the details that you need to reach out to them, how to reach out to them, everything. And as well, how can you really make money with this? We also had this one as well. I just want to quickly see what this looks like, just in case. Maybe it's a good one, and maybe... Yes, so good. Under construction. Again, very good lead. Very good lead. That's amazing. That's amazing. Guys, as soon as this video goes live, whoever is going to email these guys will actually make crazy money, honestly. Because these guys are definitely needing a website. And as you probably... If you ever been to Dubai, or if you ever have seen how it looks like or whatever, you would understand that if you're opening up a restaurant in Dubai, you will have a few K to spare for somebody to make a website. So honestly, entering a restaurant scene in Dubai is actually very, very expensive. I know some people who are into restaurants in Dubai. You got to be able to invest a couple of $100,000 to get anywhere with permits and buildings and renovations and stuff like that. It's very, very expensive. And these guys are in a hotel, Courtyard by Marriott, Dubai World Trade Center. Come on, these guys are gonna have money. And also look at this, and they don't have a website. Man, this is an amazing lead as well. Drop a like, drop a comment, and subscribe to my channel for these amazing tips that I'm showing you. And why did I go for Dubai? So that's why I'm saying I went to Dubai, United Arab Emirates actually specifically, that includes Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, and other areas, because there's a boom of restaurants. There is a boom of local businesses right now in the country. A lot of new expansions. People are investing huge money into this country. That's why it's really easy potentially to find clients just like this. We're opening brand new restaurants right now, and other local businesses as well. So what do you do with that? So we got a few leads, right? There's obviously two of them have no website, so it's in progress. So we've got a bunch of leads there, right? We also, I explained to you how this is actually going to work, right? But the most important part in all of this is that if you're not a web designer, you actually can't really help them. So that's why we're going to be using this website called Fiverr, fiverr.com, right? You want to register an account with the link in my description, and you want to search for website designer or website designer Wix, okay? For example, these guys are using Wix, as you can see, this Japanese place. So we can find a Wix designer who's essentially going to be able to make them a website for a very, very cheap price, because most of these, sellers, they are pretty much from Asian countries. They don't charge that much money, and we can put a huge margin on top and make money by reselling their service to these guys. So how it actually is going to work. So all these guys need to do is they need to give access to our developer and to yourself to this website. And our developer that you hire on Fiverr will basically design it according to their requirements. It can use a template and customize it. In most cases, that's how it's going to go. And you just get somebody like this. So as you can see, you want to go for somebody who has very high reviews, ideally 4.9 or 5 stars, and orders in a queue. So let's have a look. So we've got, 6 to 10 page website for $400. Most restaurants will realistically are going to need about 10 pages, okay? So it can be one landing page with different sections, or it can be multiple different pages, but realistically, you're looking at about this kind of price point. So we've got $400 cost on here, okay? It can even have e-commerce functionality in the restaurant space. That means, obviously, ordering, right? And look, these are some of the examples that he has done for other clients, okay? Yeah, that's exactly, that looks really, really good. So we can essentially sell this kind of service to these restaurants that I just found literally in 5 minutes at a much higher price point. For example, 1,500, 1,900. I wouldn't cross probably 2,000 because some of these new restaurants, they're not keen on spending a few $1,000 bucks. Also, the rates in the UAE are going to be a bit lower than they are in California, New York, places like that. Okay, Hong Kong. Very, very important for you to, know what the prices are locally in the country that you're actually targeting. But $1,500 is definitely not a crazy fee to to spend in Dubai for such a website. So meaning you would make $1,100. After all the fees is going to be about $1,000. So that's very, very good profit for hardly any work and just sending a few emails. Obviously, I'm not saying that, if you find 5 emails, you send 5 emails, you're going to get a client straight away. No, you definitely need to go and move with this process, add a lot more of these leads, ideally a few hundred leads, and then start emailing people. You're likely to get probably 1 client out of every few hundred leads that you get. But if each client is going to bring you $1,000 or more, all you really need is about 2 or 3 clients a month to actually start making sizable income. 2 or 3K a month from web design, drop servicing is actually not that difficult. Okay, it's just you gotta start doing it. So DeepSeek is giving you the exact step-by-step guide how to actually create this business. This is the full blueprint. Also, of course, I'm gonna be picking up on the things where DeepSeek isn't saying the right thing. So step 1 is, of course, choosing your niche. But in this video, I already told you that if you actually wanna go for the UAE market, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, stuff like that, go for local small businesses. Restaurants is good, dentists, doctors, real estate agents, and anything is good in that market because it's new, emerging, and there's very little competition. But you want to choose one niche, okay? If you're doing this in the US, of course, you can also but you should choose just one niche that you're gonna go for. And I think dentists, doctors, and real estate agents is actually a bit better because restaurants in the US don't typically have very bad website very often, or it's very hard to find a place that is just opening up right now, unlike in the UAE. And also in the US, you're gonna have much lower success rate. You need to email a lot more people, but you can charge more money. So it kind of averages out in the end. So step 2, setting up your business. Business name and branding. You gotta come up with a name for your business. Typically, I'm gonna say that if you're starting a business just like that, you kind of need to create your own portfolio website, okay? Something that would show these kinds of work examples on your website. So the easiest way would actually be to just buy a website. Just, find a seller, place an order. I haven't used this specific seller, so, you can use another seller. $150, $100, something like that to create your own website, which is a web design agency website. And then you can put some of the work examples from your supplier on your own website. So it's going to be your own agency website. This is the easiest way, and you don't even need to know anything about web design because you can also order this on Fiverr as well. But it's also very important to note, if you're going to be using these suppliers examples, make sure there's no watermarks of Fiverr on these examples. On this one, there isn't, okay? And also ask their permission. So just be like, I've got a web design agency, I've got a lot of clients. If I show this to my clients, I may bring you orders. So if if you allow me to show some of your works to my clients, then I can bring you orders. And a lot of these people will actually agree. So you have to be, of course, very, very intelligent and, don't just be like, oh, can I upload your portfolio all over the internet and never order from you? Like, no one's going to help you with that mindset, So with that in mind, of course, get a logo as well. If you create a website, your supplier can do that as well. So that's exactly what DeepSeek is saying. So website portfolio. I would suggest that you do this on Wix or on WordPress, okay? This is really, really important because it's gonna be easy for you to actually manage that website. Wix, super easy. It's like drag and drop website. Okay, this is why these guys are using Wix. It's super simple. And WordPress is also quite simple as well. There is a VP dashboard where you can just log in and make changes, so you don't have to continue paying these guys for your own website as well. And of course, add a contact form or a booking page on your website. You can of course ask your supplier who's going to be doing this yourself, or of course you can do it yourself if you know how to do it. Now, like I said in this video, I'm not gonna give any legal advice law advice and stuff like that. So, it's up to you to register any businesses and stuff like that, or look into it as well. So, and also to receive payments, if you're going to be doing this internationally, you might want to check out Stripe, PayPal, and Wise as well. Wise is really good for, pan-European and also UK, also US, Australian payments. It's really amazing. Step 3 is finding reliable web designers. So, like I said, I always use Fiverr. I've been using Fiverr for a long time, way before I really got into drop servicing. I was using it for my own projects, okay? But then eventually I realized, why should I be just using it for my own projects if I can just resell these services at a profit to clients? This is how I came up with drop servicing. This was like more than 5 years ago at this point. But there's other platforms as well. Upwork, people per hour as well, freelancer.com. But Fiverr is pretty much by far the biggest and the most popular one. So, another thing what you can do is you can find suppliers on Facebook groups. If you go on Facebook and just search for web designers or web design agencies or something like that, you can actually find people over there who are freelance web designers. Just a word of caution. Sometimes you can get cheaper suppliers than on Fiverr, but the chances of you getting scammed and just not getting anything or getting very low quality is probably about 50%. 50 is very, very high chance for you to get scammed and really, not achieve anything. That's why Fiverr is better. You pay a little bit of premium for the prices and for the fees that they add, few percentage points, but it's gonna be very, very good. So what is now very important is the pricing strategy. So according to DeepSeek, you should buy services for between $300 to $800, depending on complexity, and sell for $1,500 to $5,000, position as premium. Now, this is very, very good advice, very much in line with what I was talking about. I said that this is the price point that you're going to be probably going for if you are marketing this to restaurants in the UAE, $400, right? And then we're reselling it at about $1,500, $1,700. Now, going up to $5,000, this definitely works in the US market. In the US market, the fees can be way higher. California, Colorado, New York, Massachusetts, the states that are doing well economically, right? And their businesses are, really having money, basically. Now, of course, it also depends on complexity and it depends on the locations. So if somebody has, 10 restaurants, a chain of 10 restaurants, right? They're probably a lot more likely to pay you $5,000 than one single restaurant that is just opening up and is trying to actually save money on, he wants to retain his cash flow. So make sure you look into the type of client, into where the client is located, so you don't overcharge, because then you might even not get the client. And then 4, find clients, lead generation. Finding clients is the best using cold outreach, 100%, because some people say, oh, cold outreach doesn't work anymore and things like that. The reality is, what is the alternative though? Because some people say, oh, you got to go through connections, you got to go through, reaching out to people, going to networking events and all that kind of thing. Yeah, that's good. But how are you going to reach out businesses all over the world? Let's say, how are you going to reach out businesses in Dubai without actually living there, right? Also, another thing is, even if you do go through connections, right, you're going to run out of connections probably after your second order, right? Eventually, you're going to have to go back to just cold outreach. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is in agencies. Cold outreach absolutely is still the leading way to get clients, no matter what your other gurus are telling you, okay? The thing is, what is very, very important as well is, I'm going to be honest with you, email is definitely the most working method personally for me. LinkedIn can work, but it's a lot harder to get clients using LinkedIn, because people in the last couple of years started to really ignore LinkedIn because it gets so much promotional messages and stuff like that. People just don't really read their LinkedIn messages anymore. We got also a template there, but I'm actually gonna give you a better one in this video. So yeah, don't look at it because you're gonna get a much better one. Cold calling, this is really good. If you can actually do cold calls, I'm not writing this off. Cold calling is definitely very, very effective. If you can literally just call up these restaurants and just be like, look, just to say the same thing, what is going to be in my template that I'm going to show you in this video later on. That can work, but cold calling is a lot of work. That's why I usually focus just on email marketing. Now, running of Facebook ads, Instagram ads, it can work, but you need a lot of budget. That's why I'm not talking about this strategy. Most people that want to start an agency, they really don't have a few $1,000 just to run some ads. That's why it doesn't really work. Okay. And then what is really important now is the step 5, according to DeepSeek. So the sales process. How do you actually close deals? So first of all, you really need to actually get a reply from your client just saying that he is interested, or you piqued his curiosity. With that in mind, typically with web design, if you are on the lower side, so for example, $1,500, $1,700, you might actually get away without having calls. That's the reality. But as soon as you actually start increasing the price to higher and higher numbers, typically your clients will actually want to have a call, even if it's not a video call, but like a WhatsApp call, or just a Google Meets call or Zoom call without a video. Even that is very, very important, because most people will just not want to pay you $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, whatever you agree, without actually speaking to you just by sending emails and WhatsApp messages. Then typically you're going to send a customized proposal. It's just usually just an A4 sheet which says the price, it says what you're going to offer, how much they have to pay, what is your bank account or PayPal. That's it. It's nothing really super fancy, to be honest. You can quickly do this using ChatGPT or Canva, and then contract and deposit. Now, this is very, very important. I'm glad that DeepSeek picked up on this point. Typically on Fiverr, you're gonna have to actually pay upfront. Okay, so if I want to order this website for $400, I have to actually pay this $400 now. So it's gonna take it from my bank account, right? And it's gonna freeze it on Fiverr until the project is completed and it's gonna release to the seller. But I've got to pay this money straight away. So imagine if I'm working with 10 clients at the same time. I've got to freeze $4,000 at once. This is why taking upfront deposits is very important. Also, you lock in the client. In case your client says, oh yeah, I want to work with you, but let's just say you finish the website and the client disappears. Their business goes out of business, or something happens, or whatever. The owner gets hit by a bus or whatever. That's why it's important to take that. And typically I say between 30 to 50% for websites, because it's a high ticket service, right? And you want to ask for a deposit that at least covers this. So worst case, you're gonna be at zero no matter what, okay? Now, and then you outsource and deliver the project. So once you actually get the requirements from your client, the client says, I want X number of pages, I want this logo, I want these pictures, all that kind of stuff. You then put all of this stuff on Fiverr to your supplier as soon as you order. And also you can do upsells as well. The good thing about web design is typically it is a one-off thing. So you created the design, you get paid for it, and that's it. You move on to the next client. But also there's a lot of potential upsells that you can do. Somebody is gonna have to renew the hosting, renew the domain name, and also do basic changes on the website. That is something that you can do. You can say, for $100 a month, I'm gonna do all of that. If it's gonna cost you an average of $20 or $30 a month to actually do this upkeep and maintenance, you're gonna be making about $70 a month in pure profit every single month just from one client. Obviously, that depends on you. You can charge $200 a month, but the more it is, the less likely they are to agree and stay for a long term. If it's just $100, let's just say you get 20 clients like this, that's $2,000 a month on a recurring basis, plus an opportunity to upsell for other stuff like branding, logo design, and stuff like that. So it's very, very, very important that you do this. Now, estimated profit margins, service cost, we were looking at $400 in this case. Like I said, I haven't used this specific designer because you can find any of these, right? I'm just showing you an example that actually looks good, okay? So $400 here, and here we have $500. And this is what DeepSeek is projecting. Sell it $2,500 and you're gonna make $2,000. This, like I said, it should probably be a bit less. So I'm saying is, if you get $500 website, sell it at about $1,500, so your profit is going to be about $1,000. But again, it's up to you, and it also depends on complexity of the website. If it's super complicated, then of course you can easily charge this amount as well. And also, if you're a complete beginner, it's better to make $1,000 and get a client and actually learn how the process works, as opposed to keep asking for huge amounts and actually wait for months and months before getting the first client. So that's why I'm saying sometimes you gotta actually be less greedy and just get that work experience and make some money. Learn whilst you earn as well. This is a good saying. And finally, following up to 3 times. This is really, really important because most sales happen after the 5th touch. That's actually a big point. And that's why I included 3 follow-ups here, but we can include 2 more. So with that being said, what is now super, super important is to actually look into the message. And that is the message. So now in the recipients tab, simply we're going to actually take one of these emails. We're going to put it in here, and I'm going to quickly now send the email so you can see how it looks like. Okay, so, hey, I can bring you more customers for your restaurants. Interested? I've helped restaurants like yours to increase in-store visits by 30% plus using digital marketing websites. Reply yes if you want more customers. Now, why is this a good template? And notice I don't say we create websites or are you interested in a website? No, I'm writing it using digital marketing websites. So you want to make it sound like it is more interesting, not traditional websites, digital marketing websites. In reality, it's going to be just a website, but it's got to be something more interesting these days. Just pushing for a simple, tried and tested website is actually not enough. And also when we deliver this to the client, also we should be striving for something that is actually looking very, very good, not something like this, which just looks super, super basic. I mean, it looks okay, but I would want a website that actually looks modern, that looks like it was done this year, not 5 or 10 years ago. And some of these examples that this seller is showing actually looks pretty good, quite modern, fresh, and very, very stylish as well. So if you're interested in drop servicing, definitely join school.com/dropservicing group. As you can see, close to 3K members there. Some guys are making $8,000. Look, this was 2 weeks ago. This guy made $20. This guy made $15. This guy made $149, $1,680, etc., etc. And if you're interested in drop servicing, I also got a ton of videos on my channel. As you can see, over 100 videos on here. Watch my most popular 10 videos and also latest 10 videos as well. You're gonna learn a ton about drop servicing. And finally, I've got a 3 months drop servicing mentorship where I teach you personally over video calls how to actually start drop servicing business, how to get your first clients, how to choose a niche, how to choose a service, etc., etc. If you're interested, drop an email. On one of these corners, you're gonna find the email. Thanks for watching this video. Drop a like, subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna see you in the next video.